Greetings, dear, beautiful, precious spirit soul that you are. Just great to be with you. That I acknowledge you, who you are. I acknowledge that you can resonate and sense this, because I know that this is the greatest knowledge that there is. For me, I've never found it, because I'm always willing to let go of something that when I find something that's better. And I always have, because see, my spiritual life has always been most important to me. So I've always known that eventually, even if I got myself hot water, wherever it bit or however stuff, then ultimately when it came down to it was that decision, sometimes overcoming all kinds of obstacles or stoppages. I've got to do this, because see, that is the heart or the message that we've been called to. And what I want to just share about is how we create family, our ideal family. How do you create family? And what I got was when I disowned my family, that meant my daughters and son-in-law and granddaughters and aunts and uncles and sisters and brothers. But not that I love and adore them. They're wonderful people. But what I've let go of, the last vestiges of me holding on to my expectations of what I had about what I expected from others, when that was limiting me and making me disappointed at one level, because then that's what happens in families. And they're criticizing each other, and they're disappointed in their expectations. Why? Because we think we own each other. And sometimes you have an obligation, even if you don't even get along with someone, don't even want to or care about, that you got to hang out because you're family. No. So much of that is believe we have no freedom. And by disowning, it doesn't mean that, what do I own? I own my relationship with the divine, my beloved, my source, my partner, who is also your beloved, our eternal, that we are part of, and that we're also individuals, you see. I'm not a oneness person, because those are also numbers and all that, and it's like a blob. No, I'm not into that at all, because it's just part of it. And at least it's individual and collective. You see, I'm part of the collective, and I'm also an individual having my own experience, and I always will, and so will you. And you have character and personality, not the one maybe we've been taught to believe, but so anyway, how we create family is to recognize first we all are family. And we all then, how would you like to be in family? If you get to be respected for who you are, and someone isn't trying to lay a guilt trip on you all the time, or making you think you have to do something you don't want to do, or you're obliged to do. But I'll tell you also, there's something really important also in with us, that we also are not cold and unfeeling. But that does not mean distant or detached in that way. Is that we're actually more attached to them, because we're attached to them through the soul, or through who they really are and what we're part of in the divine. And recognizing that they are an individual, that granting them beingness instead of a thing or someone or something to be used. Or we're always then thinking, how can I get something from that person? How can I keep them from getting? So you got misers, and you got all of this stuff going on. But if you're really a really serious pleasure seeker, and it says, because we are pleasure, we are the pleasure of God. That's our divine nature. But our pleasure is only experienced when we are loving the self. Not, I don't love Terry, I don't need to, this identity here. But my nature is pleasure. My nature is love. And when I am loving my beloved, being myself, who is God, I'm not, but the divine, because we all are connected that way, and it's true for all of us, not just one, if you're a real divine being. So when we create family, it's like, once we acknowledge we already are, then we're like, I like being grandma. I love little kids. They come over and play the piano, and I just gave 2 little sweet boys. They're just wonderful. A guitar, because they're, I've known them for years, and wonderful parents, and And I get to be grandma to these people, see, because I can just adopt grandchildren. I get to be grandma. Do I feel bad that my grandchildren are, big grown ladies and all that? No, because then we have another relationship, but it's not based on guilt or what they should or shouldn't do, but it's also a quality when you are in relationship with people that you have compassion and you caring and you really desire their welfare and their happiness. And it's to be empowering, but it also has to be mutually empowering. It isn't something you have to, I don't like when you say, well, go up and give somebody a hug. But what if they don't want to? Or if somebody gives a child candy or a gift, you say, well, go give that person a hug. What's that for? You see, you don't want to do those kind of things. Yeah. So anyhow, we build family by wherever we are and wherever we're close to, and you want to build family, whether it's your neighborhood or you've got all these different families that you're kind of part of that you like to, like up here at Shasta, we like yard sales and garage sales. It's fun. So I've got all these years, got all these relationships that we like to do this. We visit, we share, we have a great time, and we do the yard sale thing. You got another one over here. This group. There's a little place, and when you're there and being who you are, you see, you can feel the love that you have, and you have that love. Whoever you are, because you perceive and connect them where they are. And the ones where you tend to want to do more things together or they become your closer family in that way. So it doesn't mean you limit yourself, but you have an unlimited extended family. And how do you want to be as a family member? Well, you got to be you. And so do they have to be who they are. But the problem is we all have these false ideas of who we are, competition, jealousy, all based on fear, scarcity, mind programming of not enough, not good enough, blah, 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 and that everything is going to get you. The germs, remember the germs were going to get you? They were the ugliest things you'd ever seen. There are these pictures of your big, huge teeth, and they're after you. Well, now they know that's germ theory. That theory, that's passe. Why? No, because they've got other ones. So the real family, the real love, is you love to know who your divine parents are. I have wealthy parents who love me and give me whatever I need and desire for good, for all. And I'm the only child, and they give me all that I desire. And you have the same. And yet it's the same, and we're all different. We have a choice. So when you do that, you can expand yourself, and you can have family wherever you go, because you're meeting members of your extended family already. And then you can play. If you love to mother, you got a lot of people to mother. You love to father, you got a lot of nice people. So great. And we've got like our animal family. Oh my gosh. We have all these. And so like, but also what happens is that, are we treating people with kindness and compassion and love? Are we being truthful and being who we are? Come on, and start looking at your best relationships. And even if it is with the dog, what's involved there? Expand it out, because it's all coming from you. And the one main relationship is the one you have with yourself, the divine, the precious, that you are part of, that we all are. And we recognize that reservoir. We no longer limit ourselves by these labels, these groups, this definition, this meaning, this baba da papa, that is just controlling you and your consciousness and producing your reality. You say. So there you go. You got friends everywhere. You got family everywhere. And you have love and compassion. You're not there to harm or hurt, and to see the beauty and the love. And you also perceive where they are in consciousness, because you could naturally do that, because that's who you are. We are family. Remember that one?